What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Got some interesting stuff for y'all today. Remember last week I said something about I got some financial stuff going on. Well, I'm about to show y'all tomorrow. Showing y'all today. I'm gonna show you tomorrow because I gotta pick it up tomorrow. And I'm pretty damn excited about it. I don't know about you all. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. I don't really have a whole lot except for, we're gonna go fishing Sunday for sure. And we're gonna go to Tailwater without question because I got like I can't remember. I started this Tailwater page last year, I think, and we've already got like 500 and some change on it, 510, which is pretty cool because there wasn't a page, the time I made it, and now I got like people wanting to do tournaments and stuff in it, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's not that I never thought about it. I just never really wanted to manage it because I work for a living and I try to fish for 4 hours on the weekends when I get it, and it's just I don't have a lot of time to manage it. You know what I mean? With all the like fish picks coming in, wanted to measure them. I think it's a really cool concept, and I think we could probably pull it off with the amount of moderators that I've got. With their help, I believe we could probably pull it off. So if anybody is watching this and they live in the Kentucky area and they want to become a member of the Taylorsville Lake Tailwater page, please go on Facebook and look up Taylorsville Lake Tailwater. Join and answer the questions, agree to the rules, and myself or one of my moderators will accept you. And you can be in the, we're not giving away money or anything. It's just kind of a, you can win like a reel with a rod, kind of a deal. It's, there's no money involved. It's kind of a friendly thing. So if you're in that area and you want to participate in that, please do. How can you prevent brain rot? I guess get a hobby. That'd be my guess. A damn hobby, son. Get yourself outside and fucking fish or hunt or jerk off or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. What's up, man? What's up, Jackson? W. What basscaster reel do you use? Okay. Here's the thing. I've used a lot of baitcasters in my life. I've been fishing with a baitcaster, I think, since I was 5 or 6, maybe 7, something like that. And it was a Shimano Bantam, which is a really high dollar reel back in the day. It had like the push button on the right side. You push the button, you casted it every time. Some of you boys don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, excuse me. But like I was flipping around the yard, it'd be snowing outside. Grandpa's like barn would be dripping. There'd be an open area. I'd like try to flip to it. What I didn't like all right, I didn't know any better, okay? So I didn't like the real I liked the real per se. but I didn't like the feel of the reel. And I'm like explaining what I'm talking about. It was it was a $100 reel. It was a nice reel, so I used it. It worked out great. But once I got to use a different reel, every time I got to use a different reel, I got to feel what it feels like differently to hold it. Whether you like to put your finger on the front of it or put your thumb on the top or whatever, you got to figure out your personal preference. And once I held a luge reel, I fell in love with luge reels. Okay, um, like the way it fits my hand is what I like the most about it. Yes, there are more like $300, $400 reels, up to $1,000 reels on the market. Yeah, but I'll take $100, $200 reel from Lose over all of them, just because of the way it feels in my hands, and it's about confidence. When you have confidence in your equipment, that's when you fish your best. You have confidence in your line, your reel, your rod, your lure. You could be using a lure that is not anything to do with the conditions you're fishing, and you could still fish it with confidence and catch fish. Swear to God. Nobody's going to tell you different. If they do tell you differently, I promise you they're trying to tell you something that nobody wants you to know. It's all about confidence. You could take a red bait. You fish it with confidence, you're going to catch fish. But you may have to cover enough water to catch those fish. You have to cover more water to catch those fish than you would a different color, but you could still do it. That's all I'm saying. On the real part, it's just I use lose. I just I like the way they feel in my hand, and what I'm suggesting to you is find a reel that feels good in your hand, and that's what you should go with. It says moderators just kind of watch over the group for spam and stuff. Yeah, they do. It's really not. Yes and no. It's not really. It's really not that big a deal. Jeremy made. How about pound line on a reel? Okay, I'll explain this one too. This is actually not that difficult of a question. Depending on what line you're using, you want to look at the diameter of it, because like you go to let's use this for example. You've got Berkeley Trilene XL. Okay, 20-pound line is 0.16 inches long. That's like really, really fucking, it's pretty small if you think about it. But if you go to Sunline, 20-pound line, it's 0.148. And that's thinner line in the same weight class. Japanese line actually is rated at what it says. American line is rated above, like Berkeley. And I'll give you another example, which is my favorite, and it's P-Line CXX. If you get 8-pound line, it's actually the size of 12-pound line. It's 0.12, which is the same exact size as most manufacturers' 12-pound line. But it's rated at 8-pound line, which is not true. I'm telling you right now, I've caught some big fucking fish on 8-pound line on a baitcaster with CXX, and I promise you that shit breaks. I've had to break it off. That shit's like almost 14. It's not 12. It's closer to 14 than it is 12 or 8. I'm just being perfectly frank. There's a lot of line manufacturers that do that. Berkeley Trilene is one of them. P-Line's CXX specifically is another one. Gamma is another one, and I don't use Gamma. It's a little pricey for me. I can't make myself do that shit, but there's a few manufacturers that do the same shit. If you look at the manufacturer's specs, as in like what the break-in strength is versus the diameter, and if you've looked at it long enough, you will be able to tell that 20 pound is 0.16 most of the time. If you see something anything lower than that, I'm not saying that it's not strong. I'm not saying that it's terrible line. I'm just saying that that manufacturer is making their pound strength closer to that manufacturer's advertisement as 20-pound line than another manufacturer is, 220 pound. Like if it's 0.18 and it's 20-pound line, that line is probably closer to 25 or maybe even over than the 20. So that's something to be, like if you look at Seagar, prime example, Seagar, 15-pound line, the the diameter is 0.13. That's most across the boards, 12 to 14-pound line. Most manufacturers, either it's 12-pound line, it's 1.3, 1.2. If you get some that's thicker, you might get in the 1.4s. And if you get a manufacturer that's 14-pound line, they get into the 1.4, 1.3 range. It's still in that realm. But I just think it's funny that Seagar specifically chose the 15-pound line to back the diameter off to make it thinner, to make it break at 15-pound line, to kind of keep that consistency at the same level as what they wanted, because that's a really really popular line, for a lot of reasons. I've got a whole 1,000-yard thing of Braze X. I've come to find out I don't fucking like a Braze X because it's shitty line. It casts well. It reels in the spool well. It just does not perform well. You get a nick in it, you get a rash in it, it's done. You don't know it. If you're in open water, yeah, it worked great. But if you're on the bank, flipping bushes and busting up cover and shit like that, don't use a Braze X. You'd be better off with like red line or just using, if you're in some heavy shit, you're better off using braid or some CXX, which is what I recommend. The 15-pound CXX is like just dumb. It's just dumb. It's 0.15 diameter line, which is pretty close to the Sunline 20-pound line. It's thin. You can throw it on a 200 size reel, no problem. But I promise you, when you try to break that, you're pulling on it, and you're like, oh my God, is this ever going to break? And it finally like tries to break, or not just tries to break. You get to the point where like, I mean, is this ever going to break? And we pull it, and all of a sudden it's like, psh. It's like, fuck, man, that should have broke like a long time ago. I promise you, CXX, 15-pound. Okay, I know I said 15-pound, but hear me out. I talked about the 8-pound line. Let's talk about the 10 and the 12. The 8-pound line is 12-pound diameter. It is phenomenal crankbait line. Phenomenal crankbait line. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If Jacob Wheeler used this line, he'd be like, yeah, it's a really good line. It nicks. It doesn't get any rash on it. It's a really good line. The 10-pound line and the CCX P line 10-pound line and the Berkeley XT 10-pound line are the same exact diameter. They're 0.14. And they're the same exact break-in strength. Exact same size. So that kind of, to me, that tells me something, Should you look at pound test or should you look at, line diameter? So I wonder Jonathan, what are you talking about? What they really do? What does what really do? Hey Jonathan, what do you mean? I'm just wondering what they do, what they really do. Hey, well, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna go mess around on TikTok. I'll see y'all on the water later.